It should be good. What's going on, everyone? I'm so excited for you to be here watching this video, because if you've dreamed of opening a gym and you've just kind of run into some roadblocks, whether it's financially, whether it's your credit score, whether you're just not sure on what to do, this is going to be the video you want to watch, because I got my great friend, franchisee, partner, lover, guy, awesome Scott over here. Not true lover, but just he means the world to me in his heart. And he's been on this journey of fitness for a long time. And I want you guys to hear his story, kind of where he's come from, what he's done in his dream that's been in his heart since I know he was very young, and kind of do that. So Scott, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you over here. So Scott's actually, it looks like you're in your gym right now, huh?
I am. So I'm in the private gym, private 24/7 private gym, let me stress. And yeah, we're in the private gym sector of the facility. Yes.
That's awesome, man. So yeah, Scott eventually did get his dream of opening a gym. But Scott, I'd imagine that you went through a lot of what a lot of people go through, where, man, fitness somehow at some point became a passion of yours. And you're like, man, I would love to combine this with my dream of just working in a gym. And at the same time, probably not wanting to work for somebody else forever, because you were in that route of working for other companies and other people. And you're like, man, if I could just do this myself. Kind of tell us your journey with that, kind of what it was like and what you experienced.
I love it. So yeah, being in the industry for quite some time, more than a decade for sure. You learn the goods, the bads, the uglies, things of that nature. And then, you have that racing thought, that pondering thought, I could do this on my own.
Yeah.
Right. But in reality, how the heck do I do that? And it was just from concept to completion of me having that vision to actually completing it, the journey, with the team at Era Fitness and you, obviously, of course.
Yeah.
It was just a dream come true. And it's not an easy road, but it can't be done.
And if I remember correct, you didn't have the credit score or the income to buy your gym.
No, as an entrepreneur myself, I've made some really good goods and some really bad bads. So I didn't have the credit score, right? I didn't have, the cash flow sitting in the bank. I didn't have a family member that was just going to say, hey, here's XYZ.
Here's $100,000.
Yeah, here, go play with some money.
We all wish we could have that, right?
Yeah, right. But that wasn't reality, right? But I had that passion, I had the dream, and we had to make it happen, and it worked out.
So so I'm sure everyone's on their seat wondering, how the heck did you do it? How did you get the money? How did you get the gym? Like, it wasn't just handed to you. How did you figure it out? What was the steps you had to take?
So it all comes down to grit, grind, attitude in my way, right? In my theory. But you got to get out there. You got to be the hunter at that point, right? So I followed the systems that you've done for so long, right? I threw out some Facebook notes, some Facebook, some ads, some notes, and you got to be responsive, right? And it wasn't the first one, it wasn't the second one, it wasn't the third, fourth, or fifth. You find the right partner, a like-minded individual that has the same vision, right? And mine just so happens, he wants to work in the industry, but you might find someone that doesn't want anything to do with it, right? Just wants to be a part of fitness, and you handle it.
So it sounds like
I just followed the system.
Yeah, so it sounds like to me, Scott, what you're trying to say to everybody is that, you made a post on social media, something simple as, hey, I'm looking to open a gym. Would anyone like to partner with me? That's what it sounds like, right? Probably something similar to that. And then from there, did you have, people reach out to you and people like, yeah, I'm interested? And
so there was a couple posts, right? One was, anybody want to partner with me on a gym? That's simple. And I think I had another post that said, want to own a gym.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. And the beauty of it is, I do have a pretty long experience in the industry. So once you get to know people, you get to build that trust and that value. And it just so happened that it worked out. Again, it didn't happen overnight, right? But you got to keep working at it for your dream.
Dude, that's it, man. So it's crazy, right? It's so funny how simple it is to open a gym. If you don't have the money, have the credit score. That's why I'm so excited for everybody watching this right now, because there's so many people, I believe, in this spot. I was in this spot, and something so simple as making a little post gets people going, right? People, and I'm sure like everyone, your friends and everyone knew you were good at fitness and you loved fitness. And so them buying into you was like, well, yeah, it'd be a great idea to partner with you. Now, we're not going to go into specifics of how you structured the deal and all that, because that's all confidential stuff between you and your partners. But kind of want to move into that a little bit is when somebody comments, somebody messages you, you know, what should these people interested to next? Like, what is that next thing that they should do? It's like, awesome. You have $1 million.
So it's the process, right? So as soon as, hey, we're going to DM you accordingly, right? Not like right on the post, like, hey, this is Scott. Here's all my information. Flood it out. You want to get into the DMs, right? Get in there, give them some pertinent information about yourself, and just start the conversation. Don't try to close the deal on the first message. Right? Build. I can't stress enough. Build the relationship, right?
Yeah.
And that's what did it for me, man. And you know, to be honest, it didn't take anywhere near as long as I thought it was going to take.
And that's a
Right?
good point that you're saying, Scott, is they might have people where you do need to share more about what your vision is for the gym, what you plan on doing for the gym. Some people already know, they know you, they know what you're looking to do. They've kind of felt that in your heart for a long time. Other people, they just have money. I mean, I remember one time, Scott, this was crazy. I did a random post on my couch. I literally grabbed my phone, put it like this, and said something like this: hey guys, I'm looking at possibly opening up another gym, and I'm just looking to see if there'd be anyone interested in be wanting to partner with me. You need about $20,000, $30,000, or a good credit score, one of those. If that's you, dude, shoot me a comment, and I could tell you more, or I just want to see who would be interested. Just comment below interested. I had no lie from that post, 26 people messaged me saying I would be interested. One guy immediately said to me, Mike, here's $50,000. You just tell me what the deal would be, and I got $50,000 to put on the table. And as you know, Scott, and as people watching this may or may not know, opening a gym with us can start as little as just $42,000, right?
100%.
Which is so crazy. So getting like the money to be able to get a gym isn't that difficult. I mean, I always say all the time, it's as simple as buying a car. You want to go to a car dealership, you just literally go there. It's not like you're handing anyone $42,000. You're usually signing a lease, signing a loan, getting that whole thing going on. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Like it's as simple as a post.
And we didn't, you know, I can't stress enough. Mike and I didn't like plan this, right? So Mike's exact post, because I'm blessed to be a part of two Era Fitnesses. That's exactly how I got the second location. Can't stress that enough. You know, following the system, I did the exact thing in the gym, and it worked out, right?
Yeah.
So that's reality.
Yeah. So when somebody messages them, right, where basically the response is simply, awesome, man, would love to set up a call and talk with you more about it. You always, guys, if you have the chance, you always either want to get on a call or meet with them in person, one of the two. Just schedule an appointment. Don't try and like tell them everything in the text. Try and meet with them, build a relationship up, and grow from there. And then after that, I mean, the next big question that I'd imagine a lot of people watching a review is like, what do I offer them? If the person gives me, you know, $100,000 or even $50,000 or even $20,000, or they don't even give me any money, they're just going to give me their credit score of a 720, and we're just going to go get a loan together. I mean, heck, what should they get out of that deal? That should be like, what?
How do you negotiate that, right?
Because that's going to be the first thing that they say, right? The person, right? If I'm investing in you, the first thing I'm gonna be like, well, what do I get out of the deal? I'm putting up all my risk.
It's America. What have you done for me lately? Right?
Right? What do I get out of the deal? What would you recommend to people, or kind of thought through with people? And then I'll kind of also share kind of how I like to structure my deals as well, but kind of would love to hear kind of like your thoughts.
And I love that question because it can go so many different ways, right? So many different avenues. Like for me, I'm hands-on, right? 23 years of personal training, from pro athletes all the way down to the little guys and your regular members. You want to be hands-on, right? We're trainers. You want to do everything on your own.
Yeah.
So you have to make that contract or that agreement that if you're doing everything on your own, right? Like I like to do. And I assume a lot of the trainers out there that have that vision to have their own gym are going to want to do it that way. You got to structure that accordingly. right?
Right.
And that's just how I would do it, or how I did it.
Yeah.
But Mike, go ahead and talk about your vision.
Yeah, I mean, what you brought up is in the very beginning was so, I think, on point where you said a lot of people are different. Some people like different things. Some people, some investors want to be within the business working with you. Some
Right.
don't. Some want to just hand you the
Not
money
part of
and you just want to go on it. And I think it's important for the consumer, not the consumer, for the people watching this, knowing like, one, who is it that you're talking to? So if it's some guy who has a bunch of money and they're willing to invest in you, well, what do they want? Like, what would make a good deal for them? That's what
more
you're trying
money.
to, yeah, you just, if you were in their shoes, this is how I like to tell people, if you're in their shoes, what would you need to offer in order for them to say yes? What would you need to say? If you had $100,000 and you're going to give it to someone, what would you offer? And I'll give a couple of different scenarios. A general investor, right? They're looking for 10% return on their money year over year. If they put in the stock markets and they got Tesla or S&P 500, right? They're looking for 10% return. But somebody who's, investing into a business, a stock market's pretty consistent, right? For hundreds of years, it's yielded them 10%. So, if you're going to offer them 10%, they're going to be like, dude, this risk is really high.
Yeah, I'll go dump it here.
It may or may not go through. I'd rather dump my money over here. So don't go in offering 10%. I think that would be a bad idea. I think something, Scott, that I think, probably worked well for you, and I know worked well for me in the past, is almost even giving a 50-50, right? Or one is just giving, so you got a couple things. One is giving a percentage of equity. Another is not giving an equity percentage, but giving them a return on their investment. So like you could say, if somebody gave me $50,000, I could say something like, okay, how about this?
Yes.
How about I give you a double return on your money? So I'll give you a return on your money, double it. And I'll make a monthly payment of XYZ until your money is doubled out, with a minimum of a 20% return on that money year over year. So now 20, right? You're getting 20% return on your money year over year, and you're slowly paying it off. It's kind of a win-win on that kind of thing,
Correct. And they're not going to be able to walk in any bank and nobody else is going to say, hey, we're going to give you 20% ROI, right? And when you can do that
20% ROI plus
exactly
doubling my money.
Correct.
Right. So that's what we're talking about with a jaw-dropping offer or something that's like so irresistible. You got it, right? If somebody's serious about wanting to go get a gym and own a gym, I'd say do whatever you can do to make it work, right?
And I can't stress that enough, right? And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people out there that are listening to this, right? That have been in that big box, right? Yeah. And they're starting to see the numbers. Like, man, I'm spending all this time,
right?
And this gym's getting a lot nicer every year.
You're from me.
And my bank account is staying stagnant, right? That's why I can't stress enough doing it on your own, taking the leap of faith, being an entrepreneur, no matter what. In that first stage, I'm blessed to have two now, but in that first one, you have to do what you have to do, right? Yeah, to get that first one up and running.
Yeah, because from there, it's not like they have to stay in the partnership. They could open a second one without them, right? Or they can include them, right? That's kind of like how you want to base your partnerships on. If you like the guy and things going well and they've done great for you,
why wouldn't you open up another one?
Why wouldn't you want to do another one? Yep. It costs less money for you then again too. So yeah, exactly. You can bring them. You don't have to bring them. Getting the first one up and going, I think, is the most important thing. Just get it going. You're going to make money. And speaking of when you're talking about the big box people, because I was one of those, you were one of those at one point. I remember talking with a kid recently, and I said to him, I said, hey, how many memberships on average do you sell in a month? And he's like, 50, 60, 70. I'm like, okay. And how long have you been working for this company for? And you know what his answer was? He said 7 years. 7 years.
Oh my God. Do the numbers.
So for 7 years, so this is fun, right? 7 years times 12 months a year. That means he's worked there for 84 months, right? And he's averaging 50 memberships a month, we'll put it at. Yeah. So that means he's done 4,200 membership sales. If he would have owned his own gym, and let's say he put his gym membership just basic, right? It's $40 a month. His reoccurring revenue that could go to his pocket and not that owner's pocket, it's $168,000.
Now, not everybody might even know what reoccurring revenue is. That's month over end.
Yeah.
That's every month.
Man. Yeah, it's so crazy. So awesome, Scott. Well, it's been such a pleasure talking. Any other things that you want to add to the people? I mean, I got to imagine it's It's not easy, but it is at the same time. Kind of like, how would you, encourage these people as they're going about this and thinking, should I make a post? Should I not make a post? Do I start? What do I do? Like all these, I know they're going to have a lot of fears. Kind of what would you say to those?
So fear can't drive us, right? Fear cannot drive us. Our motivation, our inspiration, our attitudes, our aggression needs to drive us. If you have that pondering, racing thought, I can't stress enough. What's it going to hurt you if you just try the post, right?
What? Yeah.
Sky's going to go up the next day, right? Coming up, regardless. So just give it a leap of faith. Take a shot. If you really want to do it, I can't stress enough. It's the best decision I've made, in my long career in the wellness space. Best decision I've ever made. And it all started with, a desire.
Yeah.
And a post.
Absolutely. And a post. And here's what I always love too, is like, you can make the post, guys, but doesn't mean you have to follow through with it. Right? Like, like it doesn't kill anything to just make the post. And I think a lot of people, that's what's so scary, is just taking that first step and being like, just make the post. Like literally just make a post. So what I'm going to do for you guys, everyone watching this video, we're going to include, one, you can reach out to me or Scott, talk anytime. We would love to help you with this journey of owning a gym and what those next steps would be like. But I'm also going to include with this video in the comments or whatever, some steps to take, like what you would make for that first post, what to do when somebody messages you back, kind of like what we've been talking about in this video. And then when you guys get to the structuring the deal, we're happy to work with you on that too. There's thousands of different ways to structure a deal. Like literally just depends on the person who's across from you offering it. Easiest solution around that, guys, is be like, hey, well, what would make it worth it for you? Right? If an investor is asking me, hey, well, what do I get out of the deal? I would respond back to them, well, what do you look for usually on a return on your investment? Like, what would you like out of this?
Right.
And let them respond and share their heart. And don't go back like, what? You want 50%? What? You 20%? Just be like, okay, I understand. Gotcha. I'll definitely mull that over and see how we can make that work, because that might work and might not work. But are you flexible with that and being able to work with me?
Right.
And boom. Right. Now you got the conversation going. You're not saying no, you're just still moving it forward. And so, yeah.
And like any sale, you're spot on, man. And like any sale, guys, if everybody was 100% in sales, right, they'd be living in mansions and everything else. You're going to hear some no's, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're going to get a lot of tire kickers. People say they're interested, but then after hawking a little bit, they just disappear and they don't respond. They don't hate you. Right? As a lot of people think. They don't
really
think he's bad.
Yeah, I can't stress enough. You got to go, right? If you have that dream of owning your own gym, it's reality. It's reality.
And as Tony Robbins says, and I'll end it with this, guys, it's in your moments of decision, your destiny is shaped. And it's amazing how just one little decision of making a post, of reaching out to a friend, it doesn't even have to be a Facebook post, guys. You can literally go through your contacts on your phone and you just send somebody, hey, I'm interested in opening a gym. Would you be interested in partnering with me? Right. Something that simple, guys. And you'll be amazed to see the responses you get. And now you're taking that dream and desire and actually moving it forward. Life's not going to just hand you a gym. You have to do your part in the work to be able to get that gym open, whether it be something smaller and it's 400 square feet, 600 square feet, or it's something like my gym that we're in right now that's 14,000 square feet. Just get started. You can always expand, right? You can start small. I mean, Scott, you've expanded, right? You were in 600 square feet.
So I'm sitting in the private gym right now, guys. But after 3 weeks, I realized, oh boy, what are we gonna do? So I expanded into functional training boot camp, literally right next door, another 1,400 square feet. And that happened in, I think, 2.5 months, right around that frame.
Yeah, exactly. And you didn't have that crazy overhead in the beginning. You made a bunch of sales and then expanded after you get the money in. And guys, this is what we're here for. We're here to guide you through that process. We're here to make you take safe steps and then help you expand into the next steps. That's the point of Era Fitness as a franchise. Is you have me, you have Scott, you have our whole family behind you, you have our support team, literally every step of the way guiding you through this. But here's the one thing we can't give you: the desire to actually take the step. We can't give you the work ethic. We can't give you your character. It's just going out and doing the things that you need to do to be successful and putting your emotions aside and just saying, you know what, this is what I need to do. So thank you so much, Scott, for being on the call today. And I wish you the best of everything and keep crushing it. And everybody watching, thanks for stopping in. I hope this helped you, and feel free to reach out to either one of us. We want to help you open a gym and get you moving in your dreams. God bless.
Thank you guys.